City fans, Jeremy Doku, it sounds good, doesn't it? Yes, the winger has signed for City for a reported €65 million. A winger who doesn't just have a turn of pace, but some serious tricks up his sleeve. You look at sort of Raheem Sterling, he feels like a similar profile to that, really, when you're looking at City wingers who've had these capabilities. But his unbelievable range of passing, ridiculous vision, and sort of immaculate end product is something that Pep Guardiola clearly is a massive fan of. He's a player who, on average, completes 87% of his passes and a third of his crosses and 2/3 of his attempted dribbles, which is very, very, very impressive. A player that's exceptionally good with the ball, which for wingers can sometimes be a little bit here and there. It's sometimes just all about pace and getting past your man, but a winger who's very, very good on the ball is very unique, and he can dribble, and his progressive passes is very, very good as well, and accelerating the team's attack, which I think sometimes City do struggle with. Sometimes it can be a little bit pedestrian, out wide and maybe in the middle. And if he's able to carry that ball and really ignite players like Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne in the long term, and of course Erling Haaland, that's only going to be preferential for Manchester City. But Stade Rennes finished 6th in Doku's first campaign, where he made 37 appearances for the Champions League debutants. His manager, Julian Stefan, who has now overseen the continued Ligue 1 survival of RC Strasbourg, put full faith in the youngster, who at that time was just 18 years of age. His involvement in the first team did not directly lead to his involvement in goals, just contributing 6 in the entire season. When Stefan was relieved of his duties in 2021, Doku's appearances did not diminish, obviously because he was a fantastic player and someone who City have had their eye on for many years, apparently. So, yeah, Jeremy Doku looks like a real top player for Manchester City. Apparently, they've been speaking to Stade Rennes from August the 1st, and it looks like this is going to be a player who's going to really ignite City's season, in my opinion. You know, when you've watched Doku previously, it's his ability to get fans off seats as well. It's just that turn of pace and that raw that rawness which is always going to terrify defenders. If you're directly running at a defender, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems when you've got that turn of pace. He's so young, he's so innovative. As I've said, he's so good on the ball as well. And for a winger to have that sort of vision as well, that's evidently why City have harnessed what Pep's going to harness at Manchester City. And if he can just do his Pepisms, which I like to call, if Pepisms, and he can just influence him in X, Y, and Z way, you know, maybe improve his defensive game a little bit, his awareness of other individuals on the pitch, and doing the Pep Guardiola style of play, I think that's where you're going to see a real top player here. So very interesting, everybody. Jeremy Doku looks to be signed for Manchester City. But also, City fans, is it a huge bonus now with Doku signing for City for around about £55.5 million? Is that even better now for Phil Foden? You look at Foden, and out wide, there's been a real reliance on him. There's been chat from Pep Guardiola that, you know, obviously with Mahrez leaving and that sort of position being up for grabs at the minute, Phil Foden can still play out there. But we all know, Champions League final, Newcastle as a classic example, that Phil Foden is absolutely excellent in that number 10. Now, we saw against Sevilla when he played in that number 10, a few problems occurred. You know, Sevilla breaking the game up, as we always see with Sevilla in European competitions. It sort of disrupted Phil's flow a little bit. He wasn't able to get into the game. But against Newcastle, he flourished. We all saw that, and he could have had about 4 assists on the night as well if Haaland had his shooting boots on. The point here is, if he is more consistent, if he is able to play for Man City frequently in that number 10, he's only going to build. Now, Jeremy Doku obviously now gives Phil Foden that license, if he is to play for Manchester City more regularly, being Doku on that wide flank, because he's also got so much pace, so much skill, so much vision, as we've mentioned, so much potential, that he's going to cause a lot of problems for any opposition, leaving Phil Foden with a little bit of space in that number 10 to dictate, and actually a Doku as well. So you feel that those two could have a little bit of synergy, a bit of cohesiveness from that 10 to that wide position as well. But just in terms of Foden nailing down that position, this could be absolutely perfect for him.